We brought you on board for about a year, and you did some research that I want to talk about in a minute. But before I do, another interesting thing that we found is that you had a vehicle for a little bit, and then you decided in Bryan College Station to go vehicleless and actually ride your bike everywhere, right? Pretty much. How many years was that, and how was it?
I think it ended up being just a hair north of 2 years was about the amount of time that I did without having a vehicle. And it was just one of those things where like I just couldn't afford it. Just the wear and tear on the vehicle that I had, I owned the title and all that. But I decided to just use my bicycles. I have 3 bicycles, I think is what I've got now. And I just would rotate them out. I've got family who does the same things. Granted, they live in places that are a lot more bicycle oriented, like Indianapolis, that have all these trails. I'm fortunate to live pretty, relatively close to the campus, and there are some pretty great bike lanes. The infrastructure is present, and as long as you're wearing a helmet and you're paying attention, like it's totally, in my experience, it's a lot faster. You don't have to deal with it, and it's a good way to sneak in some exercise.
Right. And our offices are in Bryan, in Midtown in Bryan, so not far north. But what was it like to commute to work? Because you were living mid-south, College Station, and then, I don't want to say details, but 2818 kind of area. And so then biking all the way to Midtown in Bryan, was there anything that stuck out to you that was better, worse? What was that whole experience like?
I think that with biking, it's not so much like taking a car and that, the most direct route. I think with biking, you've got to be a little bit more prudent in planning out your route and just being mindful of where the bike lane ends, where there's merging, where there's high amounts of traffic. So I would try to commute through campus as much as I could, just because I view that as kind of more of a safer spot, just because there's no vehicle traffic. But,
and there's a lot of foot traffic and that kind of thing.
Exactly. But it wasn't that bad. It's just, again, just having to plan it out. It gets easier the more you do it. Yeah.
Did you learn anything about, or have any ideas as far as, I guess, areas of town or streets that could be better, or was it surprisingly easy?
Well, I made a very conscious effort to try to avoid Texas. Just because I see some people do it and they are a lot braver than I. That is a street that I am just not really willing to tackle, because it just feels a little too congested, and you just feel particularly mortal when you're on a bicycle, trying to cross there.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But you did that for a couple years. Now you're ready to graduate.
Hopefully. Yeah.
I have no doubt. But I guess what I wanted to ask is, what are you thinking going forward following graduating here?
So that is a very hot question.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm looking.
You don't have to go into it.
No. Graduate school, most definitely is what I'm looking at. I've had the privilege of working with some very fantastic professors, and I've been involved with several research projects, and graduate school is very appealing to me. And so now I'm just taking a look at whether I want to go into getting my master's in urban planning, continuing the studies that I'm doing right now, or if I want to complement that with something like a master's degree in public affairs that could be offered at the Bush School, for instance. So a master's degree, I think, is what's next for me.